is what it is, eh? I just traveled the world from 2016 onward. I wrote it down. Facebook with regards to how much money measure against those KPIs. Trust me, your life will change. Hey everyone, welcome to this week's call. It's good to see so many of you here live in the room. How are we all doing today? So we changed the call this week due to we've got a contest announcement tomorrow morning, so we had to change the call because that just wouldn't work. We're just got so much, so busy tomorrow morning, so we had to change the call. So I appreciate everyone showing up from a change of times. Really appreciate that. I'm just going to press record to the cloud before I forget, and then we can jump into today's call, which I'm really excited about. But before we go into that, how's everyone doing? I want to check in with everyone that's here. Hey, Christine. Hey, Jessica. Hey, John. Hey, Kieran. Hey, Tamara. And anyone over on Facebook, let me just double check that has went on okay over there. Before I see two people over on Facebook. If you want to come on a Zoom, I'll type the link into the chat box. Oh, that's the wrong one. Let me just grab the link again. Where did I get that? If I go here and grab the link, just give me 2 seconds, guys. I just want to put the link. Hey, Kieran, how are you? Hey, Tamara. I just want to make sure I put the link underneath the video, and then we'll get jumped in. But while I'm doing that, guys, can you, in the chat box, let me know what you've been up to since the last call? So since last Wednesday, what have you guys been up to? Like, what have your wins been? Have you had any challenges? Just let me know in the chat box so I can gauge what you have been up to, because it's really important that I want to make sure that I'm making this relevant. I've got a bit of a plan for today, but I want to make sure that I am keeping it 100% relevant to what you guys are going through in this week. So let me know in the chat box what you guys have been up to, and then let's get started today. So in the chat box, let me know what have you been up to this week since last call. Have you written an ad? Have you implemented something? Have you gotten your own way? Like, what's been the theme for you this week? If you were to just give me some feedback in the chat box, and also if you're watching this and you're new here, then welcome to the group. It's just absolutely amazing to have you here. Like, absolutely amazing to have you here. And to everyone that's on this call, and then anyone watching the replay, and anyone that's new to this group, here's the key. This course, this training, this education is going to help you make the transition from learning to do things, okay? Because in society, like, we're taught from a young age in the educational system that we go to school, we get graded, we learn how to do things, right? We learn how to do things, right? Give me a one in the chat box if you're feeling that. We learn to do things, right? We learn how to do math, we learn how to do this, we learn how to do that, we learn how to do. We keep learning how to do, and then we get put through a grading system that then tells us if we're good or not, right? Give me one in the chat box if you're hearing that. We're programmed to learn to do things, whereas this education system is going to make you shift from learning to do things into learning to actually build things that sell. Okay, that is a key transformation if you want to move away from the time for money trap and move into the freedom that you're here for. You must learn how to build things. Okay, so you're gonna have to learn some knowledge, but the key is you don't get stuck learning. You don't get stuck in the details. You actually get out there and you do things, and that's the way this has been designed, to push you onto your edge and to, like, give you that nudge forward to actually move and make the transition from learning just to do things. Because hey, you can learn all about Facebook. Like, you can go through all the courses on Facebook. You could go through the course on Facebook in this course, and then not actually implement it, not learn how to make it turn into a system that works for you. Like right now, I'm sitting here and I have ads going out into the internet that are working right now, that are scaling, that are stable, that, to be honest, I hardly even have to touch right now because they're just winning. They're just working. Okay. And that came from me putting in some of my time, okay, to build it. And then I put it out there, and then I let Facebook's system do the work for me. So I'm on this call, but my work is duplicated everywhere, right? There might be someone that's not on this call inside the course and watching one of my videos. I'm duplicated, right? So I'm in multiple places at once. I couldn't do that if I was just learning to do things, right? Give me a 1 in the chat box if you hear that. Does that make sense? Like, if I'm just doing, and I'm not building, then you can't duplicate yourself, okay? And like, there's two types of people that come into this course, right? Two types of people. Number one is a business owner that wants their own product out there. So I shout out Christine. I see you're in here, and your results have been epic so far. 18 grand for your first launch, just incredible. Like putting out your own product. And I know I think you are. If I remember right, you are going to do some marketing for other people as well. Is that right, Christine? Just give me a 1 in the chat box if that's correct. But you launched your own product first and you got it out there. And it's just great to see that. So that's person number one. Person number two is agency owner. Someone that wants an agency. So I want to shout out Swapno. Swapno had his first £15,000, so 27,000 Aussie dollar month last month. I want to shout him out. Tessa as well for 4.8 grand a month recurring. Like, that's like the agency side, right? So there's two types of people. But either way, you're building things that work with very minimal of your time. So if you are a business owner, like an example, Christine is building her product out, and then she's going to have ads and marketing run into it. Okay. And then that just works. Okay. That just works with very minimal of her time. She will eventually be in a more of a management role where she checks in on the team and all that kind of stuff, right? So you're building things that give you freedom. That's the key. And I really want to hammer this point home at the start right now for everyone that's on this call and anyone watching the replay. Like, it's super important that you get committed to this transformation. Okay, give me a 3 in the chat box if you're committed to this transformation, to make the shift from doing things to building things that sell. Whether you're doing that for your own business or other people's businesses, if you're doing it for other people's businesses, you're building a marketing system that then works, okay? And then you just put a little bit of management focus on it, so it's minimal of your time. Give me a 3 in the chat box if you're committed to this transformation, because that's the transformation that you've got to make, and that's the transformation that this course will give you, okay? So there is a key foundational element. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in a little bit of training and then a little bit of key learnings that I want to share with you guys. And then I'm going to go into, I think we've had some questions come in, and I'm going to go over those, right? So I'm going to go over some stuff to do with software that I think John was asking about. And then we're going to go into some review of ad copy, I think, which is on the agenda. I've got my sheet over there that Britt's given me. So I kind of just do it on the fly because I like to challenge myself, and I've got all the knowledge stored in my brain, so I don't really need to show up with a plan. I just got some key learnings that I really want to share with you guys before we go into that stuff, if that's okay. So there's a foundational system that everything is built upon here. So if you imagine you're planting a seed, right? And then this the roots grow under here, and then eventually the tree pops up, right? Now, like this seed wouldn't grow without all the soil and all this nutrients coming into it. So if you think about that seed as your business, right? Say you've planted the seed as your business. So whether that's your own business that you've currently got that you're wanting marketing to work for, or you're coming in here like you're a starter and you're like, hey, I'm going to build this marketing business. So whatever business it is for you, that seed is your business. right? I really want you to hear that the foundational system and the foundational knowledge that sits here, there's a couple of things. The first one is it's the TAP system. Okay, so the target, attract, present. That is literally the core foundational system that sits here. It sits there as a foundation. So everything that you do, it doesn't matter if you're learning Facebook or Google, or how to care for clients, or how to write a webinar, or how to go on a sales call, or any of this stuff, you've always got to think about this target, attract, present system. Okay, that is the foundation. Okay, and within that system, you got to think of it like a journey you take someone on, right? In life, we come into this body and we go on a journey, right? Give me a one in the chat box if you feel like your life's been like a journey, like you're going on a journey. All right. So when you are doing marketing, you've got to build in a customer journey. Okay. So the first, I want someone to write this in the chat box for me. The first one, get their attention online. Okay. We do that using media. Okay. So Facebook, Google, YouTube, LinkedIn, all these things, right? But let's just go with Facebook, right? So we use Facebook to get their attention through an ad. Okay, so they're scrolling and then there's an ad that pops up. Boom, we get their attention. Next is we engage them. So the copy in the ad is designed to engage them. And that's why I give you ad frameworks, okay, to be able to write engaging ads that get them to convert. And we've got the EPIC acronym, EPIC ad, all right? That gets that part done. Then next, they click onto your funnel and there is further copy there that's relevant to the ad. And then they decide to become a subscriber because you've got an offer on that page for them that is usually free, unless you're going direct to sale. But let's just go with a free lead magnet of a webinar as an example. Then they opt in. Then you've got a subscription. So once you've got a subscription, you've got their name and email at least, or if not name, email, phone number. And then boom, you're into the next phase, which is engaging them through education. You've got to educate them, okay? And remember the 4 Ps, emotional clarity, problem. You have to know that they've got problem clarity, path clarity. They need to know that you can get them out of that problem. You've got the logical steps, okay? Next is person clarity. They need to know that you're the right person. And then product clarity. They need to know that you've got a product that can help them. Okay, and then throughout that journey that you're taking them on, when you're educating them in this phase, they've got to feel hope, excitement, trust, and urgency. Okay, then you've educated them and given them clarity if you do this part right. And then when that part's done, it is conversion. Okay, they buy, they become a client, they become a customer. Okay, and it's like this TAP system, target, attract, present. So that the core foundational system that you're learning inside the membership site does that. Okay, and I want you to understand how important that is. Okay, the next thing that's really important down here that I want you to understand that you need for your tree to grow, for your seed to flourish and grow into a big tree, is you need your focus slash energy management on point, right? And that's why we give you access to the magnetic mind stuff. So we give you lenses on a Monday, and then we give you those recodes that you can do, that you can access in the Facebook group event section. And I wouldn't recommend going on any more than one a week. So if you think about it, you want to be on 3 calls a week if you can. Number 1, lenses on a Monday. Number 2, this call, or usually on a Wednesday. And then every now and then it might move due to launches and other stuff we've got on. And then 1 recode a week. Okay, so like if you think about it, if it was me, I would be like Monday, lenses. Tuesday, I would try and be on the recode. I would just try and front load it. And then Wednesday, I would be on this. And then Thursday, Friday, it would just be focus, focus, focus. That's what I would do. And that's why I just want you guys to hear that's why we give you that. We don't just give you it because it's like, oh yeah, it's going to be perceived as more as value, because that's what a lot of people do out there, they tell you just to give stuff so like it's perceived value. We're not actually giving you it because it's perceived value. Yes, it does add to the value of it. Of course, it adds way to the value of it. Like that course over there alone, guys, if you were to go into that, you're going to have to pay $2,000, right? So you're getting a $2,000 thing for free, basically, right? Because you're paying for this course, right? So we don't just, I really want you to hear this. We don't just throw everything on your plate, say it because it's perceived value. We're giving you all this because it actually is going to move the needle for you. It's going to change the game for you. All right. And I tell you what, like until I had my focus and energy management on place, it didn't matter how successful I got. I always found myself to sabotage it in some kind of way or get in my own way. All right. So this is super important to understand this concept that if you want to grow the tree, this is key. These are your foundations and your tree will grow high, right? It'll grow, it'll flourish, it will go. But if you don't have these, if you don't have the mastery of customer journey and implementing TAP system and focus and energy management, then taking in all the information and just learning to do things like I was speaking about is not actually going to manifest for you. Okay, so I really want you to hear this. Going through the foundational stuff and learning that at the start of the course is key. And then really going over that a few times. And then getting your focus and energy management on point is key, absolute key. Okay, so that's the first thing. Okay, the next thing I really want to share is another thing that's really a needle mover, right? I'm going to call it a needle mover. There's a difference between the type of people that come in and just go and get results within the first 6, 7, 8 weeks, first 1 to 2 months, right? Let's see. And I mean, when I say get results, I mean build a $60,000 a year business, right? Like just like that. And that's a good bloody start, right? That's a good start. And that $60,000 a year business with the momentum that creates will definitely turn into a 6-figure business just with the implementation of TAP system and focus and energy management. But here's the needle mover. Here's the difference maker. Here's the secret. You ready for it? Now, and I wouldn't be where I am today if I wasn't willing to jump in and say yes before I was ready. Okay, I really want this to ring deep in your mind right now. Is without like the people that go and get results, they are willing to jump in without being ready. All right. So if that's you and you're getting excited when I say that, I see you. That's absolutely awesome. And then also, if you're not quite there yet, that's okay too. It's just an awareness thing. There's no judgment. There's nothing like that here. I'm just saying this because I want to give you the needle moving mindset stuff that's going to really inspire you into action before I jump into some detail. Okay. It's just a key. Who's getting this? Yeah, Christine, that was me, and I'm still not ready. But look at what Christine's managed to create, $18,000, right? Like that's a pretty epic result, and it's a pattern I see, and it's a pattern I've seen in myself, and it's a pattern I see when people come into the courses we have, and I just see it all the time. It's just a needle mover. So my job as your mentor is to bring these things to the light and give you them into your conscious mind so you can start to see and be aware of the needle movers. Okay, so the needle mover is willing to jump before ready. That is the key. Like these things won't work unless this seed won't grow unless you've got the needle mover there. So think of these needle movers like water, right? If you plant a seed and you water that every single day, this is going to grow. So if you're learning the TAP system and learning the knowledge and then getting your focus and energy management right, but you've just got, that's the seed, that's the soil, you've got to have this needle mover watering it, right? So that's the first one. So like, let me just come back to here and look you in the eye and just ask you, are you committed to doing that? Are you committed to jump in before you're ready, because I'm telling you right now, your life will change if you do that. Your life will change if you do that, right? Because there's a couple of types of people, and person number one is someone that can just skim across the top and take what they need and then go and implement it. That would be Chris, right? If I was to give you an example, that's Chris. He can just skim across the top, take what he needs, and then just wing it and go for it and just make things work as he goes, right? That's his natural state of being. Natural. That's just natural to him. To me, I am a perfectionist, detail-orientated person, naturally. So I will more reserve, naturally, procrastinate, naturally, and want to know everything before I implement it, naturally. Okay, so you're not alone if that's you. You're not alone. And us type of people, we'll hold ourselves back way easier than Chris type of people that can skim across with no detail and just take what they need and then go and implement it as they go. Like that's literally what Chris's genius is, right? That's not my genius. My genius is picking things apart in my head and making them work. And that can also, when you're first starting something, really hurt you. So if that's you and you've got that analytical detail mind, then you're not alone. I'm right there with you. And I just want you to understand that for someone like us to jump before they're ready, it's even worse than someone that is just non-detailed to jump before they're ready, because we try and understand and pick everything apart before we actually take action. And we think that that's going to help us. But what I've learned from experience, and hey, like I've done a few things. I've learned a few things. I've created some epic results for other businesses and for my own businesses. I've learned a few things. And every time I have created a result, I never got stuck in figuring out how. I just done what Chrissy's natural genius is, which is skim across the top, take what I need, and then action. And every single time, guys, and now I can do it more because I've just practiced it, and I can get myself out of my detailed mind, and I can just take action because it's just practiced now. All right. But before, I would get stuck in the swamp. And what I've learned every single time, with the willingness to commit before ready, even if I am a perfectionist and I am a detail-oriented mind, every single time I have learned so much more as I have done it as I went than trying to figure it out first, because I've done both multiple times. Every single time I sit and try and figure it out, it just doesn't work. I try and figure it all out, and because I don't know it, I get frustrated. But when I go skim, all right, I get that, cool. That makes sense, and I'm not stuck in detail, and I just get the big picture, and then I go, okay, let's just go. Let's just follow the next obvious step, whatever that is. And lucky for you guys, you've just got a course you can follow. All right, especially the fast launch stuff, because that's exactly how that's designed, is to help you skim across the top, get the big picture, and then start implementing it as you go. All right, so trust me, guys, that is an absolute needle mover. Like I'm telling you right now, it's game changing. So let that one sink into your mind. Now, here's the next needle mover I want to show you today before I go into some detail for you around questions that we've got. So the next one is key, and it's this. Get skin in the game, guys. Get skin in the game. And to make that sound simpler, do you know what I did? I just did it on myself first. Even if you're not going to launch with ads, like if you go into the fast launch, there's two strategies. One that does like more outreach stuff, so it's way cheaper. And then you've got ads, which, to be honest, is not a cost anyway, because like an example, if Tessa didn't take action, she wouldn't have 4.8 grand a month coming in recurrent revenue, right? So the cost of not doing that is actually a six-figure business, because that's where that'll go. Okay, so like it isn't expensive, but just to give you the polarity, we've got one that costs a little bit more money up front to put into ads, and then one that's less. All right, so even if you don't feel like you're going to launch with ads, which I would recommend you do, but if you're not, then I would still set up the system yourself, even if you're not going to launch it. That's why I just literally opened up ad accounts. So I would create my Facebook page, get my Facebook business manager. I would get my many chatbot. I would get my active campaign system, which is email. I would get my Stripe. I would get my Google Drive. I would get my ClickFunnels, and I would just set them all up. Like I would just do it for me, and I would just use me as the case study and practice. And then you can mess it all up. I remember getting so frustrated trying to figure it all out, right? But however, like that was what I did. And it's a needle mover, guys. It's a needle mover. The people that get in action and do and set up for self first, then get so much confidence. It's unreal because you start to realize how simple it is when you get in and do it. And yes, you're going to get frustrated. And yes, you're going to have to learn some stuff new. But when you get in the game and do it and you get skin in the game, you start to get this feedback loop happening. All right. And the feedback loop is like water to the seed. The feedback loop is water to the seed. And it starts to grow and grow and grow and grow and grow and grow and grow. And then it pops through the surface. And then 1 year goes by, and then 2 years goes by, and then 3 years goes by. And then you look at your bank account and you look at your life and you look at all the stuff and you go, how the hell did I get here? Who likes the sound of that? Seriously, who likes the sound of that? Because I'm going to hold you to that. I'm here to hold you to your highest self. I'm not going to let you play small. Like who's committed to that? Seriously, I want some serious answers here in this chat box. Like that is just reality. That's what will happen if you follow exactly what I've told you. Now you might be sitting there thinking, yeah, I've heard all this stuff before, and yeah, this is common sense. It makes all sense. However, it's for the larger minority of people in the world, it's not common practice. It's just not. And that's the truth. And I want to shift you. Now, you might already be doing this. And if you are, like, I can see Christine here, I can see Jessica, like you give your ad in and all that stuff. You're doing this, guys. So I take my hat off to you, right? But for anyone out there that's maybe not doing this yet, like anyone that's not doing this yet, then take this as inspiration and really just let these 4 things just sink into your mind and inspire action, right? So knowing off the tap system, focus and energy management, you get that in the course, right? And then the needle movers, these are the parts that you have to be responsible for. We've given you the system, you have to be responsible for going learning it and showing up to the calls. But the needle movers we can't do for you. Only you can do that for yourself. You got to be willing to jump before ready. Needle mover 1, which is like water to the seed. Needle mover 2 is get skin in the game. Set it up for yourself first. Set your Facebook ads up first. Set your appointment tap up first for yourself. And that feedback loop that you get from doing that and the learning you get from doing that is like water to the seed. And then, like I said, 1 year goes by, 2 years goes by, 3 years goes by, boom. You look at your bank account, you look at your life and you go, how the hell did I get here? And it was because of these 4 things. And I'll tell you what, right now I'm talking from experience. Okay. So with that said, does this all make sense before I jump on to the next thing? It's good to see people here. Anyone new that's came in that I've not shouted out. Woody, good to see you. Nicole, good to see you. Brad, good to see you. Eddie, good to see you. Good to see more of you in here. Anyone over on Facebook as well? Let me do a check-in. Hey team. Danny, asking you write it all down. What do you mean by that? What do you mean? Cool, guys. Well, let's jump in. Let's jump in, and I want to do some. I've got a blank document up here. What one will I tackle first? Right, so let me do big picture first, right? So remember, I want to go on to the theme of setting this up for yourself first, right? So big picture is for the fast launch process. Okay, we have to have a target market. We have to have an offer. We have to have sales skills. we have to have traffic. And then we have to have our mind and emotions in the right place, okay? Is this all making sense, right? So we've got to have these 5 things. That's really the 5 steps inside the fast launch, okay? And I'm going to break this down a little bit more for you, right? So in the target market, obviously, if you're a biz owner right now, this is your current market that you serve, slash or new market you want to go after. I can't give you any more detail on that because I don't know your specific thing. But if you're here for the agency stuff and you're going to be launching your own marketing business, then I'm just going to tell you what to do. I see a lot of people try and change things and reinvent the wheel here, but my recommendation is just service-based businesses that sell by appointment. Right, and it's important that you have this foundational knowledge. Like inside the Fast Launch for Business Owners, Chris actually records that and he goes through and helps you get clear on your big idea for your marketing and your target and all that kind of stuff, right? So you just have to go through those trainings. Inside this one, I actually just give you a foundations document that tells you exactly how to speak to them. And I actually go over it in the training as well, so you can hear it and take it into your brain. And I give you that document. Now, this is like just foundational stuff, right? This is the whole point in giving you that stuff, just so you hear, is to actually just put inputs into your brain, because inputs become outputs. I don't know about you, but if I want to learn something, I just obsess about it, watch it, read it, listen to it, listen to it, listen to it, listen to it, and then over time I can end up just talking, right? The offer. So for the offer, biz owner, like my recommendation is to have a high ticket offer. I've seen a lot of people come in. Now, this is just my recommendation, okay? So don't take this as a complete truth. Like, don't take this as I have to follow what Scott's saying. Like, it's just my recommendation. And here's why. High ticket offer, if you're selling it for $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, then you can spend more on ads to acquire a customer, right? Because if you've got a product that's $150, then you've got $150 to play with in ads. And when you're just starting out, guys, if you're not mastered marketing yet, that's a really hard place to start. Like, seriously, that is a hard place to start. Actually, I didn't even go near anything like that for about 4 years. I just stayed super focused on this because it was simple and I could get master my craft, master my copy skills, master my market and all that kind of stuff, right? So I just chose that. When I was a business owner, well, I am a business owner now, but when I started as a PT, I didn't do what every other PT did. I started there, but then I decided to sell high ticket packages so I could run ads, right? So I learned from someone that told me to put a package, and I was the only person in the gym selling a £2,000 package versus everyone else asking for £30 an hour. So like logic says that most people would go to the other people, but I was just committed to the transformation of the client, that people came to me and they were paying me the package. And then I could spend $500, $750 to get a client and still be super profitable. Then every other PT out there struggling. Okay, that's how I won. I done this. So a high ticket offer would be my recommendation. Unless, like we had a call last week with Marnie, and she's got a $150 product, but then she's got this trail of subscription stuff going on. So if she can even just spend $150 to sell that thing and then keep that person for 6 to 12 months, there's profit there. Okay, but high ticket offer is key when you're starting. And then for the agency, obviously you've just got your it is a high ticket offer, so it's monthly recurring, so anywhere between 1K all the way up to 5K. And I go over a scale of stuff. And then the offer is literally setting up a Facebook appointment tap for people and driving traffic into it. Because honestly, guys, when you are learning to start with, it's the easiest place to start. So I go through that with you. Okay, so again, this is just inputs and just giving you your offer and how to communicate that, because that's key. And now once you understand your target and your offer, you need some sales skills. All right, so Chris teaches you sales, and then we give you a proposal. All right. And then for the business owners, you're setting up your appointment tab. So literally your sales stuff, we give you scripts and all that. We give you the booking script. We give you all the scripts. Okay. Same as the agency stuff. We give you everything you need. And this first part, guys, that I want you to hear is literally just inputs and skills going into your brain. And here is the key. We're skimming across the top and giving you everything you need to absorb, so you don't get stuck in the detail, because that doesn't equal action. This does, and it gets you moving. Okay, and movement is key. Okay, so that's the first half. Now, the next half here is where traffic comes in. Okay, so we have for the agency crew, we have Facebook ads, which is named More Money, Less Time. And then we have outreach, which is less money, more time, because you put more time in because it actually takes your time to do. Whereas Facebook ads, it takes time to set it up, and then Facebook runs for you. And then you can put your time into selling and delivering, so you can start to get that mastery. Okay. And then for the business owners, we have we recommended Facebook ads to run into your appointment tab. Okay, and this is key. This is the part. This is where the rubber meets the road, right? This is the actual part. So all this part here that I'm speaking about, this is literally just information, knowledge, education, inputs. So if you have to go back and watch these a few times to get these inputs in your brain, then do that. Okay, so that's what that first half is. Inputs. Inputs become outputs. We are a system. We are a mechanism. Hey, we are a system as human beings. Like, I'm sitting here and my food's digesting, my heart's beating, and I don't have to think about it, right? We're a system. So systems, when inputs go in, outputs come out. Does that make sense? Everyone following that? Everyone following that? Give me one in the chat box if you're following that. Okay. So traffic is where rubber meets the road. And this is where you're actually going to be setting it up for yourself. All right. So if I come down here and go, what will I call this? Like software setup. Now there's basic stuff, and you can literally do this very minimal. Like, you can literally do this without investing anything in software. And I'll show you how. The only thing you would have to invest in is the ads, but the ads are not expensive when you end up with $5,000 a month coming into your pocket after 6 weeks of doing it. Okay, and that's a key mindset shift for everyone on this call. Okay, what happened there? Let me just go back and move this down, and then go here. So the software. Oh man, what's going on with this Google Doc, guys? Fuck. Trust that to happen on the live call. Let's go down. There we go. That should work. Right. So the key here is getting in the trenches and setting this up yourself, like setting up your Facebook page. Right. So that's the first thing. Facebook page. Getting that set up. I seen yours come into the chat and in this morning, John. If you're here, I think you're on the live stream. I seen your Facebook page. Looks epic, and I know that Chris looked at it as well. So we went in, set up the Facebook page, get it done, put it out there, then you get some experience of doing that. And it's really simple, and we do have trainings on that for you as well. The next thing is Facebook Biz Manager plus ad accounts. Again, we've got videos for you to do this. You get in the trenches and you set up your own one. Okay, set up your own one. This is, again, you're learning by doing now. When you're typing onto the laptop, you're neurologically wiring it into your brain. I don't know about you, but when I was learning, I didn't have a course like this with an A to Z thing to go through. I was just on YouTube. I was just on going to Facebook and searching how to do this, how to do that. And then I would just watch a video, and then I would just pause it and then go boom, and then implement. Oh, made a mistake. Move back, watch the video again, boom, 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 boom. It was just this. I was constantly doing this. And over time, go to set up an ad account. Oh shit, I just know how to do that. I just know how to do that. Okay, and that's what happens. The next thing is ManyChat. And again, just as you can do this for free. ManyChat doesn't cost. You can get the pro version if you want, $9 a month, but I would recommend just doing free. And you can use Google Drive, and you can also use that for free to start with until you get loads of people on your team and stuff like that, and then you can pay for Google Drive. And literally just to set up your appointment tap the way we show you to do it in that video, that's all you need, and it's zero cost to set all that up. All right, so that's like the minimal amount of what you need. Okay, if you want to go a bit further, there is other things you can do, like active campaign, which is email. Okay, you can set that up if you want. The other thing that you can do is set up Stripe for payments. Get a hang of that, and this is free to set up. This is a free trial, and then it depends on your contacts, but I think you can start at like $19 a month, and then the more contacts you get, it goes up and up and up and up. Okay. Stripe is free, but when you take a payment, it just takes between 1% and 2.5%, depending on where the person is in the world. But to start with, if you're sending proposals for your marketing services or your high ticket services, then you can just do bank transfer. The only problem with that is, well, the difference between Stripe is you can take the payments on the phone, whereas the bank transfer, you have to give them the bank details and they go and transfer it. So it takes a little bit longer to do that. But again, these are essential. Let me split these up. These are essential and free, and these are ones that you can choose to do if you want. And then the next one is ClickFunnels, which is again free trial, and then it goes into 97 US a month. One of the best investments you'll make for your business, because you can do landing pages, membership sites, all that stuff. Okay, and this, like all these things, when I was doing it and setting it up, they all have knowledge bases built into them, every one of them. Okay, every one. All of them have knowledge bases built into them. What I mean by that is you just go onto their site and then you go to help, and then they give you all the SOPs to do it. Okay, and set it up, get it set up. So if you have if you want to link ClickFunnels to ActiveCampaign, there is a SOP inside of ClickFunnels that shows you exactly how to do that. That's exactly what I did. I'm just telling you what I did, by the way. I'm just telling you that this is what I did to get this wired into my brain. Okay, it's super key, because if you go through and you set this up yourself, I can see things are coming in. I'll check that in a minute. But if you go through and set this up yourself, it's the water onto the seed. Who's getting that? Okay, even if you don't turn it on, even if you don't turn it on, even if you don't turn it on. Okay, so to reiterate, don't let your brain, these are not needed to start with. They are probably needed long term. These are essential to start, and I would just start here so you don't pay any money out of pocket apart from on ads, and you get the experience of setting it up. Because inside of the fast launch for both of them, business owner and agency one, I do like an hour training where I go from setup. So I go from like ads, like setting up your ads, all the way through to setting up your ManyChat and linking it to a spreadsheet so you can track your leads. Okay, and that's actually the other thing is Zapier, which links leads to spreadsheet. That's a really handy thing to have. If you're going to do that, I think it's about $25 a month to get onto that one. If you want to use it for Facebook, and it automates. So think about it this way: if you don't use this, you have to spend your time getting leads from Facebook and putting them on a spreadsheet, versus spending $25 a month and letting the software do it for you. So all you have to do is go into the spreadsheet and all your leads are there. So tell me if you think that's a good deal. Because if you value your time, which you should, $25 a month is not a lot to get something automated like that. Plus, you can automate a ton of other stuff as well that you wouldn't have to spend your time on over time. Okay. Kieran, probably a silly question. I've got some of these already. Should I set up for the business? It depends, bro. If you want to keep things separate, then yes. If you're not bothered, then no. But if it was me, I would probably just keep it separate. Yeah. So I would set up a new one. And literally, guys, like this is like you go through. So like the trainings are in the members area to do this. And if you can't find anything, please just let us know. Because we can then help you. But like, literally, I really wanted to paint a picture because I think I've seen a question come into the group around the process, and I wanted just to go over it again and just let you know that these are the things that need to be set up. And like, and I get the reason it's just set up. So I give you a video for an hour to go from A to B, write your ad, set up ManyChat, set up Zapier. It's just like skim across the surface. It's not here's a 101 on ManyChat, here's a 101 on Zapier, because that is not going to serve you. I tell you right now, for a detailed brain, you want to understand it all, but it's actually not going to move the needle. I really want you to understand that. It's not going to move the needle towards the end result you want, because the end result you want is clients. You came here to get clients, and then you came here to build that business. Businesses don't run if they don't have money coming in, which is clients. Okay, so trust me, if you do this, if you just like start before you're ready and implement this for yourself first, trust me, like you will get to the end of doing that and you're going to feel 10 times more confident in what you do. Okay. And then if you're the person offering the agency stuff, then you are going to have the first experience of setting this up for your customers. Now, I literally, when I was working with PTs, when I first started in marketing, all as I did was set up exactly what I'm teaching you for them. I didn't do any ClickFunnels. I didn't do any of that stuff. I kept it simple and basic. And I asked them, what result do you want? They said, I want clients. I'm like, cool. So if I was to give you a system that's cost effective, it's not going to cost you a lot of money, and it keeps everything simple and basic, all within Facebook. And the outcome of that is it gets you leads, and then those leads, you can phone them and then book them in for appointments. Is that what you're after? And they were like, yeah, we just want leads. Just give us leads. We'll get them in and deal with the rest. And that's all I did, guys. I didn't make it hard for myself. Okay, because you can make it really hard for yourself and try and like master everything at once. But the truth is, the core thing that you need to master, remember, is the tap system. Okay, so you need to get really good at writing ads, really good at targeting people. Okay, really good at targeting people on those platforms. Let's use Facebook as an example. Really good at attracting people through ads, and then really good at presenting offers to people in your copy. Okay, that's literally your practice right now. And if you try and add in all this other stuff, you end up way over here than over here. Because trust me, the most profitable skill you can learn right now is not building a funnel. Yes, I can build a funnel. Do I do it right now? No, I've got other people that do it. The most profitable skill you can learn is the tap system. Learning to write profitable ads that convert, learning to like copy, learning to create that customer journey. That is the most profitable skill. And if you keep it simple, like I'm telling you in the fast launch, and then you keep it simple for your clients like that as well, to start with anyway, just to start with. I'm talking for like your first 5 clients and stuff like that, and you get experience and you get confidence. Then you can be like, right, cool, what else do I want to learn? Let's go. I want to dive into ClickFunnels. I want to dive into this. I want to dive into that. And that's what the other skills are there for you in the members area. Okay. So trust me, guys, if you were just to implement the fast launch and take exactly what I've said today on board and do that, and then get clients, whether that's clients for your own offer as a business owner or the agency stuff, and then really, really start servicing those clients, like really, really servicing them, all the other stuff will start coming together. That is your foundation. That's your foundation, is to get that proof of concept. Okay. Without that proof of concept, like the other stuff is just information. You're just learning to do stuff. You're not building things that sell. Okay, so you're going back into the old pattern that we're all in the world and just learning to do things rather than learning to build things that sell. And if you do it this way, and I'm going to hold you to doing it this way, because this way is what I have proven to work. Okay, it works, and it's going to get you out there building things that sell. All right. So does that make sense? Let me come back to everyone here. Does that make sense?